We are brought here today to talk about two really good fusion rifles. We have the classic GOAT, the Cartesian coordinate. You know, it was that fusion rifle that Banshee was selling before Witch Queen dropped. It had some really good perks. It had like Left from Gold and Vorpal on it. Still being used to this day. And the other fusion rifle that we have today is the new and improved, back from its training arc, the GFORCE, courtesy of the Last Wish reprisal. We're going to be doing a little bit of comparison and talking about which gun we like more. So let's get into it. Now, we are comparing one fusion rifle that is a solar rapid fire frame, and the other is an arc adaptive frame. So there's a little bit of some differences there. The reason why we're comparing these two fusion rifles because they are the most popular ones in the energy slot. Before you say the iterative loop, I know, but let's be real here. You're mostly using that gun for its volt shot purposes, okay? These fusion rifles you'll actually use in a damage phase multiple times, like whether it's a swap rotation, whether on tractor duty. You'll be dumping a good amount of some fusion rifle ammo if you got these equipped for your damage phase loadout. That's why we're talking about them. So let's start off with the Cartesian coordinate because there's really not too much to talk about here. It's a fusion rifle from Season 1 and Season 13. Of course, the Season 13 version is what everybody uses. And if you look at its perk pool, the god roll that Banshee sold all that time ago is literally the best roll you could get on this thing. The best PvE perks are Left from Gold and Vorpal weapon. And if you are a person who was unfortunate enough to not get their Cartesian coordinate, or if you just were not playing the game back then, you might still be feeling it to this day, because this gun is still the go-to rapid fire frame fusion, and I don't think there's any other solar rapid fire frame fusions in the game, which is crazy to think about. The closest thing that we have to the Cartesian today is the Royal Executioner from Season 20, but that is also an adaptive frame fusion, not a rapid fire like the Cartesian is. That's part of the reason why the Cartesian is so popular, because there's just not many guns like it and not many guns to take its place. Now, a brief rundown of our GFORCE, that being the Season 21 version. It's got a new perk on it that makes it really good. That perk being, of course, none other than Controlled Burst. It reads as landing every shot in a burst grants this weapon increased damage and reduced charge time for a short duration, but I'm pretty sure if you even land like half of the bolt, it'll still proc this perk, which is really cool. A bit more in-depth look on what this perk actually does. It's going to guarantee you 20% increased damage and then 10% decreased charge time for 2 seconds, which is obviously very easy to reproc when you're just sitting there laying into a boss with this fusion rifle. Like, it's free. It's easy. Control Burst is an awesome perk. I was trying to get on my loaded question, even though that gun sucks balls, but my RNG sucks worse. The perk in column 3 that people like to pair with Controlled Burst is either Rewind Rounds or Reconstruction. Don't really need to explain why. Reconstruction is just so you don't have to worry about reloading this gun, and Rewind Rounds allows you to shoot it for very long, extended periods of time. And even though this gun does shoot slower than the Cartesian just due to its adaptive frame, because of that good old Controlled Burst, it definitely makes up for it for just a little bit. These guns are very good in their own right, but which one is better? Of course, that question is subjected to the person you're asking it to, but I'm going to answer it like this. It depends on what you're using for your heavy weapon. I personally like to always match my energy weapon with whatever heavy I'm using. So if I'm using a solar heavy, I'm going to use a solar energy, aka if I'm using an Apex Predator, I'm going to use a Cartesian coordinate. If I'm using a hothead, I'm going to use techeun. That way I can get the most bang for my buck from my surges. I will say that one thing the Cartesian does have over the GFORCE that Controlled Burst can't really help make up for is its ammo reserves. The Cartesian coordinate being a rapid fire frame is going to allow it to have deeper ammo reserves just by existing as a rapid fire, which when you rally with both of these guns with full reserves, so triple arc for the techeun and triple solar for the Cartesian, the techeun's going to cap out at 20 and the Cartesian's going to cap out at 26, giving you 6 more shots. Which no one's ever going to complain about having more ammo. I know I'm not. But if you're holding me hostage and my ransom is answering which fusion rifle is better, I'm going to give it to you straight, big dog. Cartesian coordinate is the GOAT. I said it early in the beginning of the video for those of you that were listening. It's hard to beat the classic. Of course, that's just my opinion. Both these guns are really good. Let me know which one out of these two that you like more. Of course, if you don't have Cartesian, you know, you might be a little bit biased towards techeun, but if you do have both, let me know which one you like more. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Do consider subscribing. You guys be safe, take care, and we'll see you in the next one.